From the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is the SDM Show with your host, Rob Cairns. The SDM Show focuses on business, life, productivity, digital marketing, WordPress, and more. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Here is Rob.
Hey everybody, I'm Rob Cairns. I'm the founder, CEO, and chief technologist at Stunning Digital Marketing. In today's show, I have Mr. Mark Westguard back on the pod, and Mark and I are going to talk about a WSForms update. Those who don't know, WSForms is the best contact form on the internet. Sit back, relax, enjoy. This episode is brought to you by All-in-One WP Migration, the most trusted WordPress migration plugin with over 60 million sites served. Whether you are switching hosts, changing domains, or moving to a new server, All-in-One WP Migration makes it one click. Try it for free at WordPress.org or visit servemass.com for pro features. Hey everybody, Rob Cairns here, and today I've got my good friend, Mr. Mark Westguard of WSForm. Hey Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, Rob. How are you? It's good to be back on the
Not,
show.
it's great to have you back. I should have said to you when we were talking before we went to record, this has been a long time coming. You reschedule, I reschedule. You know how it goes.
You know how I am.
Yeah, me too right now. So, and it's been fun, and we'll go from there. I think I'd get you back to kind of talk about some of the change you've been making to WS Forms. It is the form product I run. You know that. It is the only form product I will run. I think I think you've done a really good job. Somehow, you've managed to stay out of all the security vulnerability problems with AI, finding all kinds of good stuff. What's going on up there?
Well, all sorts behind the scenes, lots of little things recently. So I think the last time you and I spoke, I was talking about doing translation,
You were?
and that has now been finished and should be going live this week, which I'm really excited about. So we've done
Good.
some pretty deep integration with WPML, Polylang, Weglot. Works with things like Translate Press as well. And those all need a little bit of coding to get them to work. They don't work out of the
Yeah.
box. So we have to tell WPML, hey, here's some strings that we want to translate. So we've got all that done now. And it's pretty much as easy as just checking a box on the form to say, hey, I want to translate this. And then WPML takes it from there. So that should be going live this week, which I'm excited about. That's going to be version 1.11. And then over the past year, it's just been a lot of tweaks and updates and fixes and patches and things like that. So nothing mega, nothing major, but lots of nice little things along the way. One of the bigger things that I have done is got WSForm ready for WordPress 7 with all of their new AI capabilities. So there's basically three pieces to their new AI functionality. There's the Abilities API, and that's where you tell WordPress what your plugin can do. This is really generalizing it because there's a lot more besides, with security and stuff behind the scenes. Then you've got the MCP server. So WSForm now has an MCP server built in, so you can use AI to create forms, manage forms, modify forms, and also query forms as well, so you can get statistical data back with it. And one of the really cool things that happened with that was I was developing that MCP server, and AI started doing stuff that I didn't realize that it could do in terms of what it could do in terms of helping you with WSForm. So, for example, I would ask it to create a form, and then I would say, right, now give me the stats on that form for the last month. And then it would say, hey, do you want me to help you improve the conversion ratio on that form by telling you how to rearrange the fields or change field labels and things like that? So AI could actually be used to optimize forms using that MCP server, which is quite cool. And that's all documented on our site. We've actually got a bunch of prompts and stuff that you can use with that MCP server. And then the last piece is the PHP AI client SDK. So that enables us from within WSForm, if you've got the latest version of WordPress installed, which will be version 7 at the time we're recording this, you can now just go to add new form, go to AI, and then we've actually got some templates in there where you can just prompt WSForm and say, hey, build me a mortgage calculator or build me a dog adoption form or whatever you want. But the other cool thing is you can also use that AI capability to do interactive stuff on your form. So you can create images, you can create content that it actually populates on the form itself, which is cool. So we used to have an open AI add-on for that, an actual plugin, but now it's actually built into the core of WSForm. And you can use Anthropic, you can use OpenAI, or you can use Google as well. So that's all ready to go.
You're using those through the API keys as WordPress 7
That's
outlines,
right.
I assume, which brings me to my next point to remind people you better be really careful here
Yeah.
because
Yep.
API keys mean you need to buy tokens.
Yep.
And there's been some large token bills out there, the first problem.
That's
And
right.
then I, as a security guy, I have to tell you, Mark, I have a bit of reservation, and I'm not knocking what you're doing, but I have reservation if those keys are going to be encrypted enough
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
final release, because
Yeah.
if not, this becomes a hacker's delight, right? So that's
Absolutely.
my
Yeah. Yeah. That's fortunately not my problem. That's WordPress's problem.
yes, yes,
I just say, hey, I want AI to do this. I'm not responsible for
I
those
know.
keys, but totally
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from there. I think that's going to be called, if I'm not mistaken, it's now going to be called credentials in
They're
the
changing it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah to in the WordPress settings admin page. So yeah, so we've been on top of that and just wanted to be ahead of the curve, really, making sure that
Yeah.
we adopt all that new technology. So that's all up and running.
That's really great. It's funny. I had a call from a client. I was a new client, and I'm not going to say who they were or what they do, but you and I were talking about it before I went there. And one of the things they said to me was, WordPress is not robust enough to do what I want. And I said, really? But I think 44% of the internet will tell you it's robust enough, right? The numbers are, despite everything that's gone on in the community and
Hmm.
everything that's happened, and you and I have managed to stay
Yep.
miles away from all of that because
Yep. Yep.
I want no part in it.
Me
I've
either.
heard it all, and I'm like, I don't even want to digress on it on the show, to be honest with you.
No.
But
No
I've
need.
made a decision to stay away,
Yeah.
and the legal stuff will sort itself out.
Hmm.
But we just got to keep building for the right reasons and ignore all the other
Yeah.
stuff. Like honestly,
I agree. I've stayed out of it. I've just kept on pushing forward with my little business, WSForm, and we're doing
yep,
great. We haven't seen a decline in sales. We were up last month, which is good. So we've still got
yep.
people signing up and using the product. And yeah, there are some vocal people out there about all this stuff, but it doesn't do me any good getting involved in it. I don't understand the legalities of what's going on either. I don't want to understand it. I just want to run my
No,
business and
no.
keep going.
Yeah, and
Um,
you also got to understand the people on X that are complaining are really 0.5% of the WordPress user
yeah,
base,
exactly,
right? I mean, it's not the
exactly.
other 42% that we're all gearing at and doing it.
Yeah.
Um, I have to tell you, and you and I've talked about this on this show before,
Hmm.
and you know how much of a security guy I am. My favorite feature is still the integration with Turnstile, with Cloudflare
Oh,
Turnstile, every
yeah,
day, all day.
yeah.
That stops spam in its tracks. And
Hmm.
honestly, my clients personally prefer no captures, so they're very happy.
Yeah, Cloudflare Turnstile is my go-to for
Yeah,
spam protection on forms. I use that. I think I switch Honeypot on them as well, but the Cloudflare Turnstile is really what stops it. The only thing it doesn't stop is we're seeing a lot more manual form population and submission nowadays, which is really
Yep.
weird. I mean, they're so
Yep.
desperate to get you to buy whatever they want, or just to send you trash, that they're literally manually submitting forms nowadays.
Mhm.
But we have other tools for that, like IP blocking or agent
Yep.
blocking, or we even have keyword blocking and things like that. So I think WSForm's probably got one of the largest tool sets in terms of spam protection. And
I
we have
would
support
agree.
with other third parties as well. But we have a lot of things like, hooks that you can hook into to block IPs. You can block IPs actually within WSForm itself. And these, you can block things by different types of fingerprint. So IP addresses, user agents, keywords, all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah, it's funny. I think these spammers have got to a point where they're like, look, I just can't get through these these captures
Yeah.
now. I'm going to have to start manually submitting them, and it's crazy that that's happened. I literally get support tickets about it, saying, "Look, I'm getting spam," and I look at it, and it's like, okay, you're getting one every maybe 5 minutes. So someone's literally sitting there and typing this stuff in to try and get it through to you. So you have to use methods like that to stop it nowadays. We've actually got a new capture as well called Capture Fox, which is an EU friendly capture, which people might want to check out as well. So we support reCAPTCHA, HCAPTCHA, Cloudflare Turnstile, and Capture Fox now. And another thing that we did, I can't remember the name of it, which is terrible, but we have this thing that actually logs consent on forms and actually
Yes.
records as you're filling the form out. And then when you hit
Yeah.
submit, the recipient can actually replay them, filling the form out and hitting submit. So you've actually got a full consent log of what's been going on, which is
Mhm.
quite cool as well.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, I think I shared with you some time ago. I had a political site. Political parties love to get spammed by
Hmm.
competition.
I'm sure they do a lot.
And this one was, I tell you, this one was up to 200 form entries an hour. So
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
this is bots, you know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we turned on spam protection, and they went to like one every day
There you
very
go.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
the moral of the story is at WS Forms, turn on spam protection, save yourself a hassle. Like
There you go.
it's not
That's
worth
how
the
you do it.
manual intervention.
Yeah. Just
Um,
put that Cloudflare turnstile on straight away and you'll be good.
yeah, yeah, it's true. What do you WordPress 7 had its challenges. We know
Yeah.
what's gone on. They
Uh-huh.
delayed the release date.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, by the way, the release date's gonna go on schedule still. I am not
Yeah.
convinced, I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Well, was it May 20th? I think it currently is, something like that.
May 20th. Yeah, but they're only doing two release candidates and going to release, and
Right.
I have some reservation, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I think we should have pulled out the collaborative editing and put it in 7.1 and
Hmm.
put out the AI stuff because I think we have to get the AI stuff out from a
Yeah.
competition standpoint. We don't have a choice, don't you think?
I agree. I've known James LePage since he came into the WordPress space. He and I were actually very
Yeah.
similar time coming into the WordPress space. He's a good friend, and I went to go and see him and his team up in New York. They did a talk about AI, and loved meeting his team. Really intelligent guys, and the work that he's been doing has been absolutely brilliant. And I agree that that stuff, it needs to be there so we can start getting adoption from plugins, etc.,
Hmm.
using that functionality and having that single place where we can just say, look, I need this AI content, whatever that may be. There's still work that they need to do on it. There's some, particular API functionality that it doesn't currently do, but that'll come. That's the stuff that they're going to be working on. They've done a fantastic amount of work on it, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed working with the libraries that they have built. The collaborative editing, I've always questioned how much of an audience that functionality actually has, but obviously it must be popular enough that people want it. But yeah, maybe they should just get staggered it. But it is what
Mhm.
it is. But I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to it coming out.
I think the reason for the collaborative editing, excuse me, is for enterprise. I really do. And I
Yeah.
think that's how they make inroads into the enterprise market. Is go to
Right.
collaborative editing. Does WS Forms have any issues if collaborative editing's enabled? I have to ask.
Shouldn't do because we have our own tables. We don't use posts
Yep,
or post
you
meta.
don't.
So
I know
everything
that.
is isolated. Yeah, we do that on purpose for performance because you don't want your post table fill up with, 500,000 form submissions.
Yeah.
I've had, even with some of my clients, I've had WS Form handling significant amounts of form submissions, and you do not want that filling up all your post table and your post meta
Yep.
table for sure.
Of course not. And while we're talking about that, it's worth mentioning because I did some audits and a couple of sites running WS Forms recently. Guys, you've got to go into your WordPress dashboard and clean up all your submitted forms. Please, 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 please. Because your tables are just going to grow. I looked at one the other day that had 5,000 form submission entries.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and they and they're like, why is my database growing? Well, I know why your database is growing.
Yeah, we've got good indexing in there, which should keep it nice and fast. But it's really down to your hosting,
Yep.
resources that you've got as to how much it can take. But yeah, I've seen hundreds of thousands of submissions. My dev server I use for WS Form has, I don't know, I'm in the 200,000s of fields, and field metadata must be in the millions. So it's still ticking over fine. So it should be able to handle quite a lot of load. We built it
Yeah.
for high load application, and
Yeah.
it can handle a lot.
Yeah. But it doesn't hurt to do a cleanup anyway
No,
once
no,
in a while.
absolutely not. Yeah, there is
And
actually, if you don't want to keep submissions forever, there is actually an automatic archiving
yeah.
process in WS Form as well you can use. So you can auto delete submissions after a certain amount of time if you want to keep that tidy.
Yep. 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 So we'll get past 7.0. You're
Yeah,
7.0 ready. What's
yeah.
next? Can you share what you're working on or no?
Yeah, so I mean the translation stuff is the next big thing that I'm going to be releasing. So we're going to release with integration with WPML, Weglot,
Yeah.
Polylang,
This week.
Translate Press. Yeah, hopefully this week. So that's quite a lot of work that's going to be going live, and that's all going to be documented in the knowledge base, so you can learn how to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of hooks as well that relate to the translation stuff. If you want to build your own translation software, you can do that too, which is cool. Yeah, so that's the next big thing. And then after that, I'm going on a code freeze because I'm going to be heading to WordCamp Europe. And I don't want to have lots of support tickets while I'm there. So I'm just going to do tiny little bug fixes and stuff for a little while. And then when I get back from WordCamp EU, I'm planning on taking a bit of time off and just relaxing at the lake. So
Mhm.
that's the
So
plan.
what you're telling me, translation here, nothing's happening till September,
Nothing.
right?
No, that's it. Yeah. You can lump it and leave it as it is. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
No, you know me, I'm always tinkering. I'm always adding stuff
I
to
do.
it and doing stuff in the background. If I go quiet, it's usually because I'm updating things because we have, oh God, I think 40 or 50 different plugins just for integrations.
Yep,
So
you do it
I,
at least. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're integrated in with over 100 different third-party platforms, but actual plugins, I think we've got about 50 of them, in addition to WordPress, WS Form Core. So that is a maintenance job in itself because APIs change, APIs update, companies rebrand, they break things. So we have to
All
keep
the
on
time.
top of that all the time, all the time. Yeah, I had one recently where I don't know who it was. Maybe they should remain nameless, but we did an integration with them and they just completely removed an API endpoint. So it's like,
Oh,
why did you remove it? Why didn't you just make it a legacy endpoint? So it just broke everything. So all the customers were like, hang on a minute, this isn't working anymore. And it's because, sometimes these APIs aren't managed as best as they can. Some of them are very good, but yeah, particularly newer ones because they just want to change the way that they've gone. Hey, and I shouldn't have done it that way, and they'll just delete stuff, and then my integration breaks. So we have to keep on top of that as well.
yeah, yeah. It's people don't realize with businesses like yours, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that
Yeah,
happens that
yeah,
the user says, "Oh, there's no new features," but you could have spent 3 months updating stuff to keep it
Oh yeah,
running because
yeah,
7
yeah.
comes out, there's changes. There's changes with software, there's changes with integrations. You got over, what are you at now? 100, 125,
100
something like
plus,
that.
yeah, something like that. Hmm.
And not everybody's nice enough to tell you what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
no.
And I can't keep up with it all, you know. It's sometimes it's a case if I get a support ticket, someone will let me know that something's not working. Now we'll jump on it quickly and get it fixed. But yeah, little API stuff is just a constant, not a battle, but it's just something you have to keep on top of. Um, and then, you know, there'll be little bug fixes in WSForm as well that I'm working on. So
Hmm.
the thing with WSForm or any form plugin is it's designed to do so much stuff out of the box. There are
Yep.
so many billions of
Yep.
combinations of things you can do with it. And there will be things that I haven't thought of, and they'll say, "Hey, if I click this button, this button, this button, this button, and this button, and I make this do this, and I do this, then I get this bug." And I'm like, "Well, I never would have thought about that before." So there's maintenance like that as well, all the bug fixing. So yeah, a lot goes on behind the scenes for sure.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. It's just
No, no.
it's gotta happen, and that's the
Yep, yep,
reality of
yeah.
it.
You want to be working with plugins that are fixing those bugs and keeping on top of that stuff for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, are you still getting a lot of traffic through the WordPress repository, Mark? Or is that kind of died down, or is that hard to gauge right now?
Um, it's that's a funny one because some days I can be on the second page, some days I can be on the first page for phrases.
Yeah.
It just depends on, you know, one of the things that really impacts your ranking on the plugin directory I've noticed is how many support forum things you've answered.
Hmm.
So if I get a little flurry of people using the light version and asking questions about it, then we'll actually go up in ranking because I guess the WordPress algorithm sees that we've got some usage there. But you know, it trickles through. It's not something I focus on that much. We have a free light version of WS Form that people
Yep.
can use.
You do.
And it has pretty much everything in it that you need for a basic contact us form. And it actually, all of our spam functionality that we were talking about earlier is included in the light version too.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we don't restrict that. And the other cool thing that we do is which other form plugins for some reason don't let you do, but we do actually let you export submissions from the free version too. So if you only need, you know, first name, last name, email address, then our light edition does pretty much everything you want. But if you want the conditional logic, the integrations, and all the other cool stuff that it does, then
Hmm.
that's where the Pro Edition comes in. So yeah, we still get traffic from it. I still maintain it. But most of the traffic for my business comes from, well, the likes of yourself. So other people that have
Yeah.
audiences within the WordPress space and relationships that I have with them. That's really been my strategy. And you know, one thing I was thinking about the other day was I'm so glad I never did lifetime deals with WS
Yeah.
Form because
I'm glad you didn't either.
I've with the economy the way it is right now, I'm fortunate that I've got very loyal customers, and those renewals coming through right now are critical, absolutely critical to running a sustainable business. So yeah, it's funny times right now. I'm seeing a lot of people in the space hurting. I'm seeing others grow. It just depends on what their plugin is, on you know what they're doing with WordPress.
I think the hardest part with lifetime deals as a plugin dev is very simple. You take all your money, you do well up front, but
Yep.
then you got to support all this on a lifetime deal. And it's
Yep.
the same degree to people who offer monthly care plans. We have the same problem. You got to do that balancing act of how do I bring money in a care plan, but how do I
Hmm.
not kill myself? So I've got another client whose care plan's coming up for renewal very soon,
Hmm.
and they're in the space where they're tying up more resources. So I guarantee you their price is going up. And they're going to look at me and say, but the economy. And I'm going to say, but you're tying up more resources, and here's the proof. So we're tight
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
that's the problem. When you do an LTD, there's no working on how many resources is. An LTD is a strategy to get cash in quickly, and that's the reality of it all.
Yeah, and I totally understand why some businesses do that because they need to bootstrap the business and get it going, you know,
Yep. Yep.
initially. I was fortunate because I had my agency, which was basically paying to build WS Form, so I didn't need to do that. But that's definitely helped me out long term. So
Yeah.
that's a strategy that
Okay.
I'll think I'll stick with for now. I mean, I've got it in my back pocket if I ever need it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think
it works for us.
think I don't think you'd be serving yourself well, Mark, honestly. And I don't think you
Yeah,
serve your clients well. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
they come to you because the support you provide, which
Hmm.
is very good. Um, some of us cheat a little more than others, right?
Yeah,
Me included,
you've got a
but
back door.
I do, and I know it. But I usually don't ask a lot. You can export your forms. You and I have been down that road recently
Yeah,
together, which is
yeah,
quite helpful.
yeah.
And I mean, there's things, and you got to play. Like I would say to anybody, if you bought the product and it's a great product, it's pretty robust, set up a test site, do an install, and then start playing with the various add-ons. If you bought the pro product, because you'll be surprised what they can do. One of my favorite
Mm,
add-ons is the Google Sheets add-on. You
yeah,
can send stuff
yeah.
right to a Google Sheet, and believe it or not, it's probably one of the easiest one to set up.
Yeah.
In the form space, we saw what happened with Platform 7, a big free competitor at WordCamp Asia.
Mm,
They have announced they are not doing any more development.
mm.
Now, I'm not surprised for other reasons. Did that surprise you being in that space, or was that not a shock?
Um, I don't know what my thoughts are on that really. I didn't really think about it. I
Yeah.
figured that they've just got other stuff that they want to focus on now. I don't know how much of a moneymaker that's been for them. There must be a huge amount of resource to look after that with the number of customers that they've got. And I'm sure there are people knocking on their door saying, "Hey, can we buy Contact Form 7? Because can you imagine the data
Yep.
they've got behind that thing?" I know it's only a free plugin, but I'm sure he's got a lot of contacts as a result of it. And hey, I wish them well with the new stuff that they're doing. The form space is, now and then we see another contender coming in. I saw another one this year, but when I look at the product, I just think, God, this thing is just so simple and way behind and shouldn't be launched yet. There's only a few of us that really have gone the whole hog and built a viable product that can
Yep.
do what people actually need. And it's a lot of. I mean, I don't know why I built a form plugin. The amount of work that's been involved in getting it built has been absolutely amazing. But it's been a good. I enjoy it though. I'm such a nerd. I love the coding. I
Yeah.
love doing the support. I love working with customers. And I've never been happier in my career than I am now. And I can say that hand
Well,
on heart. I absolutely love it.
that's the important thing, right? Is if you don't
Yeah,
like what you
yeah,
do, it doesn't matter what you build.
yeah,
Um, so you got a lot going on. Summer's coming. WordCamp's
yeah,
coming. Yay.
yeah, yeah,
Poland's coming.
yeah.
If somebody who's going to use your product, and I'll kind of sum it up with this. What would you suggest they start with? There's a lot there.
Um, so obviously just use it for all your basic form
Yeah.
stuff, like your contact us forms, your inquiry forms, and stuff like that. If you want to get a little bit more involved, the most popular plugins that we have is, like you said, the Google Sheets one, which is really cool.
Yep.
That actually works with repeaters as well. So if you have repeaters of data, it'll actually push separate rows out for
I've
that,
done
which
that.
is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
And then
cool.
our other most popular plugins are the post management, which enables you to create posts from forms and also update posts using our forms. That's a really
Mm.
popular add-on because it has really deep integration with ACF and other custom field plugins, and that supports repeaters and all kinds of other fun stuff like Google Maps and stuff like that. Because we have over, I don't know, 70 different field types now, and
Yeah.
it'll integrate in with pretty much every custom field type in these custom field plugins. So Jet Engine, ACF, even older stuff like Toolset, it will work with that, and Pods. And then we have the user management add-on as well, which lets you create login forms and forget password forms, and all that kind of stuff. And then we just have, for all the major stuff out there, like email marketing packages, CRM. So we're integrated in with like Salesforce, and then anything custom that you want to do with WSForm as well, you can do. So if you're looking to push a form to some kind of legacy system or something that we don't
Yep.
integrate in with, You can use our webhook. You can use our PHP WordPress filter hooks or actions. You can easily integrate in with Make and Zapier as well. So the sky's the limit, really, what you can do with it. And then our conditional logic's fun to play around with as well. So a lot of form plugins will just do things like if this field value equals something, then show or hide this field. And that's as far as it will go. But WSForm just has this ridiculous array of stuff that you can do with conditional logic.
Yep.
So you can even do stuff like when the form renders, I don't know, run this JavaScript, or when this form renders, push this data through to this API. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do with it. It's all JavaScript event based as well. So you can even do stuff like if someone hovers over this button or clicks this button or changes this field, then do something. So the conditional logic is far exceeds anything else that I've seen out there, and that's actually quite good fun to play with. And then you can do calculations. You can do, the sky's the limit with it. And you've got basic e-commerce built into it as well, so you can do invoices and estimate forms and all this kind of stuff. And there's a fun place to go into with WSForm is go to add new and then go to the demo tab, and there's tons of different forms in there that you can just play around with and see what it can do.
And that's the best way to learn.
Stuff. Oh yeah,
it's the best way to learn.
Have a go with it.
Yeah, and the AI stuff I think is getting really good. To be honest with you,
that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
it's at the moment AI is just a little bit clunky, isn't it? Like getting an MCP server connected and everything else. So I hope in future that becomes a lot easier. We're so early with it though. I mean, it's jumped on us, and even MCP is not an official standard. It's a draft spec. So I'm hoping that kind of stuff is going to be easier for users to interact with eventually. And but we're there. We've got it already. It's just what people do with it now.
Yeah. As always, Mr. Muck, thank you for joining me. We'll do it again soon. You want a form plug? Yeah, sooner. You want a form plugin? Go on and buy WS Forms. I don't hesitate to say that you need to, go support Mark. Go get the best form plugin on the internet. That's the easy way, right?
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it.
Yeah, have a great day, Mike. Talk to you soon.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Thanks again to our sponsor, All-in-One WP Migration by ServeMask. Export your entire WordPress site in one click, import it anywhere. No server access needed, no command line, works with every hosting provider. Free on WordPress.org, or extension at servemask.com. A very special thank you to Mark Westguard for joining me on this edition of the SDM Show. The SDM Show is dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Dad, I miss you very much every day. My mother, Ann Cairns, who's still doing really well and is an inspiration. And, of course, Tiz Maroney. And Tiz, I know I've said it, but thank you so much for all the inspiration you give me every day.